Most people won't make it to the end of this video, not because they're not capable, not because they don't want success, but because they're distracted, because they lack the focus, the grit, the endurance to stay locked in. You see, what separates the top 1% is not intelligence, not talent, not even luck. It's the willingness to start to keep watching, keep learning, keep grinding, long after everyone else has quit. If you're still here, you've already taken the first step towards separating yourself from the rest, because the truth is brutal. 99% of people tap out, they scroll, they switch tabs, they chase comfort. But the 1% they lock in, they pay attention. They understand that greatness doesn't knock at waits. Quietly, for those disciplined enough to stay in the room. You want to know what it really takes to succeed? It takes the decision to keep going when every voice tells you to stop. It takes the refusal to be average. It takes the grind when no one is watching. I've seen the quotes, but this isn't about hype, it's about reality. While others are entertained, the 1% are educated. While others sleep, the 1% strategize. While others complain, the 1% take action. Let's be honest, motivation videos are everywhere. You've heard the slogans. They wait for the right mood. They wait for someone to tell them, now's the time. The reality is that every day you have two choices, comfort or growth. It demands you do things that don't feel good today, like discipline, patience, persistence so that tomorrow feels like freedom. You wake up with purpose, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. They understand that if you don't design your life, someone else will design it for you. And most people are living out someone else's plan. Because freedom is not given, it's earned. Hour by hour, day by day. You cannot have both. They want the transformation, but not the sacrifice. But that mindset is what keeps people stuck year after year, watching others rise while they stand still. The people winning aren't always the smartest or the most gifted. They're the ones who didn't stop, who failed, adjusted, and kept going. They're the ones who decided that excuses weren't worth it anymore. Growth demands you give up distractions. It demands you sacrifice now for later. Most people want the reward, but not the process. Let me ask you, how many years have passed where you said, this is my year, but nothing changed? It doesn't matter how many times you've fallen. What matters is what you choose to do next. Because if you don't believe in your vision, nobody else will. How many times have you set goals with excitement only to forget them a few weeks later? That's what 99% do. They wait for motivation. But here's what the 1% know it's not supposed to be. Pressure builds strength. Resistance creates resilience. Struggle is the training ground for greatness. But here's the truth. Motivation fades. Discipline remains. The top 1% don't rely on feelings. They build systems. They build structure. The question is, do you want to live life on your terms? So, you'll have to fight for it every single day. You'll have to wake up and choose purpose over comfort. You have to trade temporary pleasure for long-term power. You have to ignore the noise and focus on your path. Every time you showed up when no one else did, it all adds up. Your effort compounds. The results may not show today, but they are building in the background, quietly, consistently, and most importantly, you have to believe that it's possible. Look around you, and that's a decision you can make right now. It doesn't matter where you're starting from. You can choose to keep scrolling, or you can choose to rise. You can choose to fit in, or you can choose to stand out. You can choose to be average, or you can choose to be elite. And no, it won't be easy. The process is the point. Every late night, every early morning, every silent sacrifice. But only for those who stay the course. That's the test. That's what separates the masses from the few. Most people will quit because progress feels slow, because the payoff isn't instant. But the 1%? They play the long game. They don't need quick validation. They're building something bigger, something lasting. Your life is the sum of your choices. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you're investing in a stronger version of yourself. Every time you choose effort over excuses, you're separating from the 99%. And every time you finish what you started, you're forging a mindset that can't be broken. Now ask yourself, what are you really capable of if you stopped quitting? What kind of life would you build if you refused to surrender? How far could you go if you stopped waiting and started working? You won't know until you commit, until you make the decision that this time will be different. that you won't let the noise pull you off track, that you won't settle for average when greatness is still within reach, that you're done watching others pass you by while you make excuses. This moment right here, it's a test. Will you be like the 99% and click away? Or will you be one of the few who finishes what they start? Because if you're still listening, if you're still here, I'll tell you this: you're not like them. You're different. You're the one who keeps going. You're the one who chooses growth. You're the one who is willing to sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term greatness. You're the one who refuses to settle. And that's all it takes. That fire inside you, feed it. That voice that says, you've got more in you. Listen to it. It's that feeling that you're meant for more. And most of all, they chose not to give up when things got hard. Trust it. Because the 1% didn't get there by chance, they got there by choice. They chose discipline. They chose courage. They chose consistency. Now, it's your turn. This isn't just another video. It's a challenge to commit, a challenge to rise, a challenge to break the cycle, to do what few are willing to do, to prove to yourself that you are worthy of everything you dream of. So, what's it going to be? Will you fade back into the noise, or will you step into the life you were meant to lead? Then go build the life that only the 1% ever will. You already know the answer. You've come this far, now finish it, because you're not here to fit in, you're here to forge on.